Breathing. In this video, we are going to look at Introduction to breathing, illustration of breathing using a bell jar experiment, lung volume. Breathing is an essential and fundamental part of our life. It is the process that allows the exchange of gases. Breathing allows the intake of oxygen from the environment to the lungs and aids in the expelling of carbon dioxide out of the lungs. Oxygen is vital for the process of cellular respiration, where energy is generated by breaking down glucose molecules. Illustration of breathing using bell jar experiment. When we breathe in, we intake oxygen from the environment to the lungs, and when we breathe out, we exhale carbon dioxide out of the lungs to the environment. This mechanism of breathing can be demonstrated using the bell jar model. The bell jar resembles the chest cavity, and the balloons mimic the lungs. The rubber sheet represents the diaphragm, and the glass tube resembles the trachea. As the rubber sheet is pulled down, the volume inside the jar increases, which in turn decreases the pressure. This drop in pressure causes air to rush in and inflate the balloon that resembles the breath-in function of the lungs. When the rubber sheet is relaxed, it is like relaxing the diaphragm, which causes volume to decrease inside the jar, and in turn increases the pressure, causing the air to rushes out and deflate the balloon. This resembles the breath-out function of the lungs. Inhalation, breathe in. Inhalation occurs when air enters the lungs. During inhalation, the intercostal muscles between the ribs, tighten and pull the rib cage up. The diaphragm moves down, thereby increasing the volume of the chest cavity and decreasing the pressure. This will cause the air to rush to fill the lungs. In the bell jar experiment, inhalation is similar to pulling down the rubber sheet. When the sheet is pulled down, the volume of the jar increases, thereby reducing the pressure. This causes the air to rush to the balloons. Exhalation, breathe out. Exhalation is the action of pushing air out of the lungs. During exhalation, the diaphragm moves up and the ribs move down, thereby decreasing the volume of the chest cavity and increasing the pressure. This will cause the air to rush out of the lungs. In the bell jar experiment, exhalation is similar to releasing the rubber sheet. When the sheet is released, the volume of the jar decreases while increasing the pressure, and air rushes out, causing the balloons to deflate. Lung volume. The amount of air that can be inhaled into the lungs in one breath is called the lung volume. It can be measured using a device called a spirometer, and the values are plotted on a graph called spirogram. Spirometer is also used for finding the cause of shortness of breath. Lung volume varies with a person's height. As taller people will have larger chests, their lung capacity is higher than shorter people. Also, the lungs are not of equal size, and the right lung is slightly bigger than the left lung. A human lung can hold a maximum of 6 liters of air. The lungs in a human body weigh approximately 3 pounds.